And now, fight fans, live from Copperbox Arena, London, England, it is time for the Cage Warriors Women's Bantamweight Championship of the World. 5 rounds scheduled and brought to you by the Hippodrome Casino, London. The 3 judges scoring this bout at cage side on the 10-point must system, Ben Cartledge, Mark Collette, and David Leatherby. And when the action begins inside the cage, referee in charge, Mark Goddard. And now, fight fans, we are set to go. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. She is a mixed martial artist standing 5 feet 4.5 inches tall, weighing in officially 134 1/3 pounds. Her professional record stands at 3 victories and 1 defeat. Fighting out of Imatra, Finland, here is Eeva Siiskonen! And next, her opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. She is a boxer standing 5 feet 7 inches tall. Official weight 134 3/4 pounds. As a professional in 6 bouts, she is perfect. 6 victories and no defeats. Fighting out of Helsingborg, Sweden, the undefeated Pannie Kianzad!
Ladies, you understand the rules you're fighting under. It's to me at all times, keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. Touch gloves, let's do this.
Final instructions there from referee Mark Goddard. Pannie Kianzad in the black. Eeva Siiskonen in the black shorts and neon green top. 5-minute rounds in the women's bantamweight division for the big gold belt. Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer calling the action.
Immediately Siiskonen with a big left hook that just found the top of the head.
And Kianzad with a receipt. And doing research on Eeva Siiskonen, talking to our matchmaker Ian Dean. The first thing he said about her was, this girl can bang. And I'm sure more than happy to oblige Pannie Kianzad.
You know, she is incredibly tough, and that really does say something. It's an attribute that many people overlook, but there's a certain grit and a toughness that if you can get stuck into a wall, and when you're under fire, you can give as good as you're going to get. You've always got that puncher's chance of those big hooks landing.
A calm start from both ladies. Kianzad doubling up with the left hand there. Oh, ducks under the shot and a beautiful takedown from Pannie Kianzad.
Yeah, showing a bit of diversity there, but you know, when you have someone so worried about those shots up top, the hands keep coming up every time you feint, and that just opens up the hips, and you saw Kianzad change level and beautifully get all the way under Eeva Siiskonen.
Pannie Kianzad fought an incredibly talented grappler in her Cage Warriors debut in Megan Van Houten. And perhaps it's Kianzad with the grappling advantage in this contest, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, she showed a lot of defensive fundamentals that were very good in that match. A lot of, you know, where do you put your hands, where do you put your head, where should your hips be? All the kind of things that, you know, can be very hard to pick up on if you're not too versed in the grappling realm. But this is a good overhook for Siiskonen, who's looking to climb the legs high. If she can drive the right arm of Kianzad deep with that grip she's got, she'll look to whip that left leg all the way over the top for a triangle.
It would be considered a significant upset.
Again, please.
If Eeva Siiskonen can pull this off, like you said, Josh, nothing to lose for the Finn.
And there she goes, she's trying to climb the legs high, and Kianzad's got to shuffle her head all the way back through. She wants to be either all the way in or all the way out, and this halfway house is very dangerous for her.
Tense moments here in the first round for Pannie Kianzad.
I mean, there are armbar options here if Siiskonen wanted to get her hips all the way out to the side. You can see Kianzad has got to shrug her shoulders, try and walk him back in. There's the armbar. Kianzad's got to stack forward here. All her weight has got to go on her left-hand side. You see that right leg behind the backside of Siiskonen. That's going to stop her extending her back. But I mean, she can turn all the way out and come underneath here. She's got a really good bite of this arm. And Kianzad has got to be careful.
Kianzad getting that elbow out, Josh, defending the armbar.
Good guard recovery from Siiskonen, who does eat a couple of shots, but a nice active attacking guard early from her.
And Eeva Siiskonen already showing that she's not here to make up the numbers.
You see again, she goes back to that grip with her left hand on the right wrist of Kianzad, but she doesn't have the right overhook yet. It's going to make it easier for Kianzad to just pull out of any submission. But when she climbed her legs up, that's when she was very dangerous.
Last time, girls, I need to see something, please.
Armbar coming again here if she can get the grip, but Kianzad wary to it, just changing the distance on her.
Credit to Kianzad, you know, she did everything right in that exchange. Once the armbar had been secured by Siiskonen, she defended it well, got the elbow out. Unable to do enough to keep that top position though. Referee Mark Goddard resetting the fighters on the feet. Exchange of jabs, Kianzad went low.
Yeah, I'd like to see more work with Kianzad from the front hand. That left hook of Siiskonen really is the danger punch for her. So if Kianzad can keep that right hand glued to the side of her face as defense and just do a lot of work with that lead left.
Kick into the body there. Get a bit of range was Kianzad. Using every avenue of attack here in this first round. Nice combination there from the former amateur boxer.
Stop.
And the first round is in the books, Josh.
Ian.
Intriguing stuff.
I think
4 more to go, though.
that first round probably going to go the way on the judges' scorecards of Pannie Kianzad. A lot of good top control, earned that takedown. A couple of good shots on the feet. Let's take a look at the replays. Nothing for Siiskonen to be unhappy with, though. She had a very good account of herself on the ground.
There's a nice right hand landed from Kianzad there. Ducks under the punch. Beautiful timing on that takedown.
Perfect timing. Straight under that incoming strike. But here you see she got her leg up, and as soon as she got over the face, Kianzad had to drop all her weight to her left-hand side and try and keep her compressed as possible. If she lets Siiskonen extend her back, and there you see just getting the elbow out, and as soon as the elbow's out, the arm's no longer in danger. And immediately going to work again. I like how neither lady panicked there. There was nothing too frantic. It was a very methodical attack and defense scenario. And maybe just a little bit of a change of tempo from one of them in that situation, it might have ended differently.
Well, Josh, it's a 5-round fight.
Ready, goes, 1, 2.
Plenty of time for either of these two ladies to up the pace. Lead left hook from Pannie Kianzad to get this second round underway. Wild swing there from Siiskonen.
Yeah, but that is where she's dangerous, if she can get in the pocket and get those big combinations to work.
And you've got to say, Josh, as well, that is where Siiskonen's dangerous, but it's also where Kianzad might be able to capitalise on that amateur boxing experience and land a nice flush counter on the way in. You really do get the feeling that our matchmaker Ian Dean has found a very suitable replacement at late notice, and this is very much anyone's game here, Josh. Nice 1-2 there from Siiskonen, keeping Kianzad honest.
Kianzad circling to the left here, which is into the power side of Siiskonen, but what it is away from that left hook, and a good straight right of her own there. You traditionally say don't circle into the backhand, go the other way, but really the danger weapon from Siiskonen is the left hook, so Kianzad trying to just circle away from it. That way, even if it does land, some of the power is taken out by the circular movement. Jab on the way in, though.
Nice combination there from Kianzad.
I'm going to be curious to know if the late replacement changed the way Kianzad was looking at this at all. She was facing a very different opponent originally in Agnieszka Niedzwiecz, who also undefeated at 6-0, but with several very good submission chops on her record.
Oh, nice left hand there from Kianzad.
Siiskonen does not seem phased at all. No sign of wobble, but she definitely doesn't want to eat too many of those.
And these punches just seem to be finding a home though for Kianzad. She's found her range here in the second round.
I do like that push kick that Kianzad's used a couple of times. It's landed very firmly to the midsection of the fin. I also like that both, well, front kick return from Siiskonen, but I do like that both ladies are keeping their hands very high for the most part, keeping good technical guards.
Both very respectful of their opponent's boxing. Wild exchange there, right in front of us at the commentary position.
And you can see Kianzad's going back to that boxing stance every now and then. She blades her stance a little more, front leg comes a bit further forward to just give her the depth on the jab and get her in striking distance. Typically in MMA, you have a bit more of a broader stance. But, you know, no kicks to that lead leg from Siiskonen, so she doesn't have to worry about that so much. And also no takedowns either, so the two things that would stop you putting your left leg that far forward, no concern for Kianzad.
The welterweight champ Nicholas Dalby in the stands here, watching his teammate compete. Of course, Nicholas Dalby in action later this evening. Cage Warriors 74 Part 2. Our second card kicks off in just over an hour's time. Do not go anywhere. Things are just going to get better. We've already had a phenomenal night of action here at the Copper Box. A nice combination from Pannie Kianzad, turning up the tempo a little bit there.
She's been to decision a couple of times on her record, 3 times, in fact, to go with her 3 knockouts. So you know she's good over the 15 minutes, but it's always a question when you get into the championship rounds for the first time. If it comes to that, of course.
And you have to perhaps factor in as well that Pannie Kianzad has been training for this fight for some time. Eeva Siiskonen has not. Has she been doing the intense cardio sessions to prepare for a 5-round fight?
Possibly not. It was a good left hand for her. Look for the takedown there, and Kianzad with a solid stop. We thought the work rate might be a little higher from the much younger fighter, 22 years old for Kianzad, to Eeva Siiskonen's 32. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. Bit of a higher work rate, a few more punches. Look at that left hook to the liver. I think she's going to take some confidence from this, start building up her timing, just step it up that little bit more, and a few more of these will start finding their way through.
Round 2 in the books. And it's been the left hand of Pannie Kianzad, which has really been the story of that round, Josh. Found a home for it upstairs and downstairs, and we're going to take a look back at some of that action right now. Lead left hook there to start things off.
Of course, Siiskonen never took her eyes off her opponent, but again, that left hand setting it up nicely with the other. And that's what it's about. You can see that the boxing pedigree gives you the combinations that you're going to strike, and you know the first one might not land, the second one might not land, but no matter what you throw, that third, fourth, fifth, perhaps even shot, and one of them will get through.
Nice little uppercut, left hand on the break there. Very active is Pannie Kianzad, and looking fired up as she prepares to come out for the 3rd round.
Ready, fight.
It was a 3rd round stoppage for Kianzad last time against Megan Van Houten. A TKO. Can she repeat that here against Eeva Siiskonen? Or will Siiskonen nab the upset and shock the world? You've got to think Kianzad up on the scorecard at this point, Josh. Big left hand landed though. Kianzad charges.
And it has worried the Finn, but she's got a chance here to just have the pace be a little bit slower. She's got a good overhook with that right arm. But you can see immediately Kianzad getting her head to work. Good head position, although Siiskonen looking to shift her around here. The Finn's done a good job of getting dominant position in this cage fight here.
Siiskonen on the attack.
fight against the cage, of course. Clarify.
We don't do cage fighting here at Cage Warriors. We do mixed martial arts.
Now, wall work, of course, is such a huge part of MMA. Fighters really do have to spend a huge amount of time working against the fence.
It's an interesting dynamic that other combat sports just don't have, and many coaches will say, and many fighters will say, it's like having a third man in there, and if you can use that effectively, you can really get yourself into some fantastic positions. You can run the clock down, and you can tire your opponent out on the fence. That's exactly what Pannie Kianzad is doing now, just grinding away on Eeva Siiskonen.
Again, the head coming to work, looking for the Thai-style knees now, bring them up on the outside and really chop down.
Busy on, improve that position, please.
Got to be careful, she doesn't have a back taken here, though, reaching over the top, and you saw Kianzad look to go for it.
Would have been an early Christmas present for Pannie Kianzad, that one.
Good
short elbow there.
It's a good frame here, constantly keeping her head in play as well, and pummeling for the short shots.
Girls, busier, please. Improve the position or busier.
And Siiskonen's got to stay active. She's just letting Kianzad go to work here, and it really could spell disaster for her.
And the clock ticking away.
Stop.
Referee Mark Goddard has seen enough on that one. He needed a bit more action. You don't have to be landing fight-ending shots all the time, but you do have to be advancing your position and changing your methods of attack. So Mark Goddard deciding the reset was in order, and they're trading blows on the feet.
Siiskonen needs some form of good offense here at the moment. The momentum's just started to shift, and that was a good left hook. She's got to let Kianzad know she's very much still in this fight and that she can hurt her. Doesn't want to become too defensive.
Does seem to just be single shots coming from Siiskonen, whereas Kianzad doubling up, throwing combinations.
She said in her walkout, I wasn't sure what was going to happen for her cardio if it went into the third, fourth or fifth rounds, but we can see she is slowing down a bit here.
Kianzad landing some good shots there. Siiskonen forced to cover up. The first ever Cage Warriors Women's Bantamweight title on the line this evening. One of these ladies will make history, joining what really is a glittering roster of past and present Cage Warriors champions. Will it be Pannie Kianzad? Will it be Eeva Siiskonen? We will find out in 11 minutes or less. Very tight guard from Kianzad, nice head movement. And again, the combinations landing, Josh.
Again, she's got the center of the cage. And really just having it all her own way with the work rate at the moment. She's just got a bit more pep, she's a bit faster. And obviously she's carrying the confidence of landing. As you can see, she's still got the feints in. She's still got some good head movement. Really giving Siiskonen a lot to think about. She opens up on the cage here.
Big combination from Siiskonen. On Siiskonen, beg your pardon. Siiskonen looking for the knees though here. The Finn tying Kianzad up after that flurry of punches.
You know, maybe this is a good change of game plan from her. I mean, we've seen she's got submission skills on the ground from her back in a defensive position. What she got from top position, if she can earn a takedown. The question is she too tired to really put a good effort forth in scoring one? But something needs to change for her here, because right now her game plan is not carrying the weight it needs to, and Kianzad's having it all her own way.
Kianzad unleashing there at the end of this third round. And Josh, if tiredness is the issue for Eeva Siiskonen, that does not bode well for her, because she has another 2 full 5-minute rounds to go. Let's take a look at some of the action from round number 3. And it has to be said, Josh, that action heavily weighted in favour of Pannie Banzai Kianzad.
Siiskonen had a couple of shots off, but nothing too profound. This was a good period of cage control for the Swede, landing some good short knees. You can see the frame with the head is there, keeping her opponent nicely controlled. There's the frame with the forearm and the short elbows, just making it as uncomfortable as possible.
It's a nice left hand there from Eeva Siiskonen, but it really was just single power shots from the Finn. And as you see here, 2, 3, and 4 at a time from Pannie Kianzad.
Yeah, nice to see her look for that short elbow when the distance closed. I'd really like to see her just up the work rate a bit more here. I think she really stands a chance of putting Siiskonen away if she can just have a bit more confidence to flurry behind those punches.
Round 4 underway. The first time in the championship rounds for both these ladies. They've both climbed the mountain of the mixed martial arts world, and there's a big gold belt waiting at the top of it for one of them. Nice left from Kianzad. Punch is looking very sharp here. Siiskonen firing back. A little off target though for the Finn. Kianzad advancing now. Is she going to try and up the tempo here? She's going to change tack and go for a takedown, blocked by Siiskonen though.
Yeah, I'd really like to have seen her perhaps throw a couple of strikes first. A takedown worked for her in the first round because it was a huge incoming strike from Siiskonen, but at that point her hands were already in a good position to defend. That being said, we've seen Kianzad could control very well against the fence here. So any kind of entry to get to the clinch is going to allow her to do that.
Kianzad looking for a little bit of space. Tried the knee there. Quite on point with that one. What are the options for Kianzad here, Josh?
Well, she could try and go for a takedown, but I mean, you know, why put yourself in the realm where we've already seen that Siiskonen is dangerous? I'd like to see her perhaps dictate a little bit of range, break away, and then immediately throw strikes. I'm sure she's stand a good chance of catching the Finn off guard. And we've already seen that she can do the damage.
Disheartening there for Eeva Siiskonen. Just about turned herself off the fence, and Kianzad puts her right back. Goes to work with a knee to the body there. Nice couple of punches on the break from Pannie Kianzad. She really has got her range down perfectly here, Josh. Nearly every punch she throws is landing.
And I suspect we're going to see a very mature performance for her where she's, you know, as much as we'd like to see her really try and finish this and go forward aggressively, she doesn't need to put herself in that kind of danger. She's got her range established. She knows when to move in and out and when to cut the angles. There's no reason she shouldn't keep doing that. That would be the smart thing to do for the next 7 or so minutes here.
And again, the left hand lands. Mixing it up with a kick was Kianzad there. Siiskonen landing the right over the top.
Again, I don't think we need to see those overhands and those hooks from Kianzad. Just straight shots down the middle. You know, the guard of Siiskonen is very wide at times. Really encourages shots straight down the middle.
Kianzad really controlling the distance in this contest. Not letting Siiskonen get into the pocket to throw those wild hooks that she's so fond of. And it has to be said, Josh, offensively, it really has been all Pannie Kianzad on the feet in this fight. Siiskonen perhaps looking out of ideas, Josh.
Yeah, she tried again for a takedown, but just no real setup to it, and an easy defense for Kianzad, who again goes to work against the wall here.
Referee Mark Goddard taking a close look. He's already separated the ladies for stalling once in this contest. Going to want to see action.
Looking for the takedown, not quite able to off-balance her. Back to work with the knees. It's a diligent performance from Kianzad, but really just like to see her change tempo now if she can. To go for this finish, be very decisive about this.
Final 30 seconds of the fourth round, and it looks like we'll see a fifth here at Cage Warriors 74. It's been an incredible night of fights so far, and there's much more to come as we head into the second half. of this evening's entertainment. Bola Amayele, Tom Brees, Tim Wild, Sean Carter, Joe Duffy, and of course the welterweight title fight, Nicholas Dalby and Mohsen Bahari, all coming your way this evening from the top of the hour. Final few seconds of the fourth round here though, between Eeva Siiskonen and Pannie Kianzad. Fourth round done, and it looks like Kianzad's just running away with it now, Josh.
Yeah, I think a very dominant performance so far. Let's have a look at some of these replays from that fourth round. It's going to be mostly Pannie Kianzad.
The timing is impeccable on those punches, the distance is perfect. A nice right hand from Siiskonen there, left hand, beg your pardon. And of course, Josh, as the fight goes on, those little knees to the thighs and the knees to the body, they're all going to add up.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a huge amount of damage accumulated over time here in this fight, going the way of Kianzad. The corner of Siiskonen just trying to get her back in this and just say, hey, look, you wanted this shot. You've got 5 minutes left to show us everything you've got. But Kianzad has got to be pretty confident here as she's bouncing around at the start of this fifth and final round.
It'll be interesting to see how Kianzad approaches this fifth frame, Josh. Show of respect between these two ladies. Is Kianzad going to come out and look for a finish, or is she going to coast on points here? Siiskonen tying up immediately, looking for a lateral drop takedown.
Oh, can she establish a top position? Don't think she's quite got enough.
But great to see from Siiskonen, really going for an all-or-nothing takedown to start this fifth round. She knows she has to get a finish here.
Absolutely she does. She's undoubtedly down on the judges' scorecards. The only thing she's going to be able to do to come away with this is to put Kianzad away. And this is a good change of tack from her. It hasn't been working on the feet. So maybe some offense on the ground is what she needs.
Trying to get that just a high crotch takedown or drop for a single leg. Switching now to a double. She's going to need to link those hands behind the legs of Kianzad, but Kianzad widening her base.
Yeah, one underhook in for already, looking for 100% sweep here, which will leave her opponent's arm all the way over. There we go. And doing a good job of using it to force the upper body clinch again. You see, this is where the hustle, and you need those cardio reserves. You know, if in that transition, as she came back up, she immediately looked to drop again or to strike off the break of the distance. It's in those transitions where everything comes into play. I just don't think she's got the wind left in her.
Oh, body punch there. We've seen a few knees going in already. Siiskonen tries to land one over the top. And Siiskonen already running on fumes, and those body shots are not going to help matters for the Finn.
It's a very grinding performance from Kianzad.
Pannie Kianzad perhaps just 3 minutes away from becoming the first ever Cage Warriors Women's Bantamweight Champion. History in the making here at Cage Warriors 74. Brought to you in association with the Hippodrome Casino London. Takedown from Kianzad with venom on it.
Yeah, great valley drop takedown. Changed the angle on her opponent and gave her something to be tripped over behind. That's a good change of pace from her. You saw she's still got the emotional intensity and the explosion to do that kind of thing. Got to be careful that Siiskonen doesn't lock her up in guard here, though. We've already seen she can be dangerous.
And what a story it would be if Eeva Siiskonen were to nab a late armbar here in the fifth and final round.
Yeah, and Kianzad, I think, doing exactly the right thing. She doesn't need to engage in there. The takedown was good. It was from a dominant position. It was to a dominant position. But as soon as Siiskonen retained that guard, there was absolutely no need for her to be there. Smart decision making.
And referee Mark Goddard just briefly warned Siiskonen there about grabbing the wrist of the glove. You can hold the glove, but you can't put your fingers in the wrist, in the wrist strap. And it's more of the same here from Pannie Kianzad, jabbing away, but a kick came up there from Siiskonen. She really is leaving it all on the table here. High kick missed.
A couple of times she's come very close to finding a pretty flush jaw.
We said earlier in the fight, Josh, she's not here to make up the numbers. And she's certainly giving it everything up to the 5th and final round. Taking this fight on just days' notice. We really do have to give Eeva Siiskonen credit under those circumstances. Coming in here so late and facing an undefeated fighter who undoubtedly has talent by the bucket load in Pannie Kianzad. Kianzad pressuring her opponent up against the cage now.
They're looking for that tie clinch. You can see that right leg of Siiskonen coming up to block any knees Kianzad may throw.
Just over half a minute to go, and it's going to take a miracle for Eeva Siiskonen. Kianzad still working. The knee's still going in, the punch is still coming. Siiskonen tries to turn her onto the cage, but ends up right back where she started. Kianzad just tapping away here, using her head to control her opponent. Final 10 seconds of the fight.
So consistent in her approach through these later rounds. It certainly worked for her.
And now Kianzad looks to unleash in the final few seconds, but it was too little too late. And both these ladies embraced in the center of the cage. We're going to see some replays of the action. It was a strong start by Eeva Siiskonen, looking for that lateral drop takedown. Couldn't quite capitalize though. Pannie Kianzad staying active, throwing punches under the armpit. Short punches here to the body, knees too.
Was excellent clinch work throughout a huge portion of that fight. I did really like this valley drop takedown that she threw here. See how she just folds her over her leg.
Bad intentions on that takedown from Pannie Kianzad. An absolutely phenomenal front kick to the face from Eeva Siiskonen, and another. Unfortunately, it was too little, too late for the fin. Really is academic at this point, but our judges are tallying their scorecards. And we're just moments away from making history, crowning the first ever Cage Warriors Women's Bantamweight Champion. What a platform for these two young ladies, and what a platform for women's mixed martial arts we've created here at Cage Warriors. Headlining a card with the likes of Saul Rogers versus Mick Sinclair. Really does make a statement about where these ladies are in their career and where women's mixed martial arts is in Europe at Cage Warriors. So without further ado, we'll throw it to Joe Martinez, who'll make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards, and we have a unanimous decision. Both judges, Ben Cartledge and Mark Collette, 50-45. Judge David Leatherby, 49-46. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. Still undefeated and the new CWFC Women's Bantamweight Champion of the World, Pannie Kianzad!
Emotional scenes here at Cage Warriors 74 in the Copper Box Arena as Pannie Banzai Kianzad makes history as the first ever Cage Warriors Women's Bantamweight Champion, embracing her coach, talking to Cage Warriors director Graham Boylan. Pannie Kianzad, tears in her eyes. The champ is here and she's with Josh Palmer.